because the show can be really confusing at times. In the script, is it ever as confusing? Do you ever have to ask Sam for help about what exactly you have to do?
Do I ever have to ask him? All the time. I mean, when we first read this second season, because of the nature we were shooting it as a one complete film, we had to read all of the scripts at once. So I knew where Elliot was going, but there were a lot of storylines I was very confused by. And by the time we got to the 10th episode, it was a wash for me what happened in 8, 9, and 10. And he said, "What did you think when we were done?" And I go, "I'm going to be honest, man. I can't really tell you because I don't know what happened." And then about a month or two later, I went back and about a month later, really invested in the last few scripts. And I went up to him, I'm like, "That's a really good script, 10. And he laughed at me. He's like, "You're just realizing this now?" I'm like, "I really just understood it now." And then we finally finished 10 recently, and I'm so proud of it. It is, and it's kind of Sam's baby. I can tell when he's really excited about an episode. I usually get more takes on that episode. So I was like, 10, you really care about 10. And I think we put more money into it as well. So 10 will be a longer episode, and it feels like it can exist in a movie theater as a film.
Has it been a different experience having him direct every single episode this season?
Yeah, it makes everything more cohesive. I'll often ask him, like, what's your favorite episode we've shot so far? And everyone kind of blends into the other as one larger story. So, whereas you could look at the first season and be like, "Oh, that's the withdrawal episode," or "That's Steel Mountain," or that's the graveyard episode, whatever it was. This is, you can pull out moments that stand out from each episode, but it gives it a cohesive feel. Working with the guy, everyone always asks, he's a brilliant filmmaker, and the one thing everyone talks about is how great of a writer he is, but he's just an artist. There are times when we're setting up the frames on shots for scenes, and, Todd Campbell is brilliant, but the way they work together, he just has a great eye for things, and the sound design as well. But beyond all that, he's a phenomenal director, and you can ask any one of the actors in this room. He's pulled special performances out of each and every one of them. So that's one thing I traded that for shooting this way, because I'm not a huge fan of shooting like this. I think it's the first time I will say that out loud in front of the people who are recording me, but I wouldn't want to do this if it was a bunch of other directors involved. But the fact that it's him has made it a more pleasant experience than I had anticipated, because he's powerful, he's skilled.
If you have as your character, you have a lot of emotions that you need to show through your face, rather than actually speaking. Is it pretty exhausting at times when you're on set?
It's not getting. I hope audiences just aren't like, "Okay, enough already." We put him through the grinder, and I don't get exhausted by it because I love him. I know him very well now, and he's a good friend of mine. So I can go places with him. It's very challenging, but it's a dream role. My friends who are in the business, they look at me, and they're jealous, because you can only hope you get a character like this. It's one of those once-in-a-lifetime roles, and so wherever Sam wants to take him, I'm happy to go, for the most part.
Last night's episode, we saw you struggle with Mr. Robot, and it seems like at the end, you guys kind of had almost not really a standoff, but an understanding or something.
I didn't see it, so you have to remind me.
You decided to play chess with Craig
Oh.
Robinson's character, and then you
Oh.
see him standing there, but it's just not really.
Oh yeah, those are fun. One thing I did tell myself this season was I'm going, now that I know the relationship that exists between Mr. Robot and Elliot, I'm not going to spend much time having eye contact with Christian's character. And there are times when Sam was like, are you not going to look at him? Are you not even going to acknowledge him? And I'd go, no. And he'd say, all right, let's see how that goes. But there are times he wins and there are times that I won that argument. But it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to surprise. Christian constantly surprises me on set, and so I try to do the same with him. It makes for we don't rehearse a lot, so when, you never know what this actor is going to do, it's usually some of our best takes are the first ones, right?
100,000,000%. All the way, man.